And this is actually, his career kind of stalled. And this was a fate that befell a lot of filmmakers, Korean filmmakers of the 90s, people who'd kind of come up through the 90s, and then when the next generation came through, nothing happened. Anyway, but it's still a great film, and I wedged it in here because I just like showing that clip. I promised you blockbusters, and that's what we're going to look at from here on in. By the year 2002, box office records seemed to be breaking with such frequent regularity that it seemed that the Korean wave would keep on surging and surging. That every year there was a new record set, and sometimes 2 records were set in a single year. The titles that we're going to be looking at will be familiar to most of you, I assume, and I hope I'm able to impart some new information, but at least we'll be able to enjoy, savouring clips from, Korean films that we've come to know and love. The film that became emblematic of the new Korean success story was SHIRI. We'll look at a clip from this espionage thriller in a minute, but one of the interesting things about SHIRI was the amount of international press that it got. In 1999, the most successful film of all time was regarded as Titanic. It had won 11 Academy Awards, and for ill or good, everywhere it played, it had blitzed the international box office. It was, in lazy journalism parlance, the new Gone with the Wind or the new Ben-Hur or something. And SHIRI sold 2.4 million tickets in Seoul, with an estimated 6 million tickets nationwide. And so while it might be understandable that South Koreans might get excited about a local box office hit, when the film surpassed the ticket sales for Titanic, it became an international news story. So the first I ever heard of SHIRI was I was reading in the Sydney Morning Herald an item about that big, probably picked up off the wire service from AAP or Reuters, saying this film has, a Korean film has outsold Titanic. And this news story went right round the world. So without knowing anything about the film, people knew this film existed. On top of that, some enterprising Korean in Australia organised screenings here. I used to do my grocery shopping down at Market City, where the Reading Cinema used to be on the 3rd floor, and I was coming home, I'd gone out to do my grocery shopping, and the cinema was on the 3rd floor, and I'd often see Chinese films there and what have you, and there was this long line-up of people that went the entire length of the 3rd floor. And I went up to find out what the fuss was about, found out it was this Korean film, no English subtitles. This was before I went to Busan for the first time, by the way. And it was only showing on weekends, and there just seemed to be no hope of getting a ticket. So you get the general picture. Koreans were excited, the international press were excited, even if they didn't know why. So let's have a peek at what some of the excitement was about.
시간하고 장소를 저랑